Now the leading rusher for the Pats last year is a rookie, Sony Michel. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. And they'll try Michel here running on the right side. He'll have a first down past the 40 and all the way up to the 45-yard line. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Down on the field, we've got an injured Colt after that last play. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
It's going to be a long day, offense. It's going to be a long day. 6 guys. Check 6 guys.
Okay, Coach, EA Sports. Way out of the Arrowhead Stadium tunnels, and the noise level in this place was just about off the charts. They're set for football as the Chiefs get set to do battle with the Indianapolis Colts. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Sony Michel. And shutting him off, now open field. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy. Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Out of the gun, Brissett. Gets it to his running back, Cannon. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Good yardage there for the Colts. 18 and a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On the ground, this is Michel. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line. Brissett from the gun on 3rd. Able to find Deion Kane, complete. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. A first down throw for Brissett. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Chester Rogers, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. And here's Vinatieri now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Ready? Double tight. We got 4.
They'll run for the first time with Hill. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. On 2nd down, it's Hill. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jason McCourty. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try and wipe that one away from the memory banks. And let's face it, it's not often a quarterback and a defensive back have a lot in common. But one thing, because they have these individual type plays, they've got to have short memories, don't they? DB gets beat, wipe it away, quarterback throws a pick, has to do the same thing.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. On 2nd and 9, Brissett. That'll be complete to Cook. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation...
And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Sony Michel with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. They've got to be thrilled on the road right now. Touchdown, turnover, touchdown, and quickly trying to make it 14-0.
Yeah, and mentioned it already. On the road, to be able to go into someone else's house and establish a start like that, obviously your confidence rises in a big way, and you're putting some doubt in their minds.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
You get blocked me. You get blocked me.
Here's the first carry for Bo Scarborough. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now it's counted. It appears he'll be a few inches short, so 9 yards on the gain officially, and it'll be 3rd down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. First down, and it's Hill again. And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They run with Hill. And it's still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Let's put them on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Hill. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. KC last year on 4th down, 12 of 15, third best in the league, and they're going again. They run. It's Hill. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They run. This is Scarborough. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up 1st downs.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. This is Scarborough. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
On 2nd down, Hill. 7 big yards on the carry there to get him within range of the goal line with 3rd down upcoming. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
Wide motion, wide motion.
They'll run for it with Bo Scarborough. And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Bo Scarborough, his 4th touchdown on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Now, let's not forget that was all set up by the 4th down conversion earlier in the drive.
Would have been a complete letdown if the drive doesn't culminate this way, wouldn't it? If you're going to go for it on 4th down, your intention is to make sure you get a touchdown out of the drive, and that's exactly what they did. Converted, and then converted a 2nd time for 6 points.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
47. Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time. Rush in. Rush in.
Now Michelle. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the 2nd quarter. 14-7. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. On 3rd down, Brissett. And this is caught by Watkins. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. That one goes for 8 yards.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Brissett. He's going to look deep for Watkins. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
They'll run. This is Cannon. And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. Brissett. Buying time to his left. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down.
Well, he strung it out as far as he could, and I like the fact that he kept his eyes downfield, but he finally ran out of time and room. But I'll take that over forcing it downfield and possibly having it intercepted.
To throw again on second down. Brissett. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on third down.
Mike 50.
From the gun, here's Brissett. He's going to air one out. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's fourth down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And there's a work of art right there. Out of bounds at the 2-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They begin the drive with Hill. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This will be fielded at the 8. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Now Scarborough. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They try again with Scarborough. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41. Now third down is looming. A pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there. And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on third down. On third down, it's Hill. And he's going to be about a yard or two short of the first here. He needed the 35 but didn't make it. It's a gain of 5, and now the question, will the offense stay out there on 4th and 1?
It's now 4th down and 1.
And this will be a long field goal if the skies were clear, but here in the rain and the elements, they'll go for it on 4th. Here we go with Hill. And an alley to run. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Chiefs first down. I love those plays. 4th and 1. That's who wants it more, this time the offense.
Yeah, there's a lot of hooting and hollering in there, right? A lot of contact and a lot of collisions as they try and find some space. Who's going to drop their hips, gain leverage, and move the other side backwards? We saw it there for the offense getting it done.
Now they'll run it with Scarborough. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Chris Jones on the stop. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
On second down now, it's Hill, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's third down. Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the second half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little more space.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Kansas City. Devin Funchess. His first touchdown on the year, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Point after, up and good, and we are tied at 14. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You're probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. First down run is sniffed out from the start as they'll drop him for a loss of 4. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play. Now this time he'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. He's going to take off with it. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here. How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his second catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him, and what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their third corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
A pretty good-looking run there on first down. That'll go for 9 yards, just short of the line to gain. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Brings up 2nd and a yard at the 31-yard line.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
Quick talk. Alert. Check 15.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? He's a little too aggressive there from his Mike linebacker spot.
Sometimes you jump into gaps trying to draw them off sides. This time he tricked himself.
Following the penalty, it's Hill. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
The 42-yard line.
One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. The busy night continues for Hill. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Here's Hill. And he's got a 1st down as he's up to the 48. That gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs.
Another carry for their leader, and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
2nd and 12 at the 45-yard line.
Set up! 180! I'm scared.
Now they'll throw it with Trubisky. They set up the screen to Hill. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
From midfield now, here's Trubisky. And he gets it to Funchess complete. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another 1st down at the Colts 35.
That's another Kansas City.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. Margus Hunt able to take him down.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. Throwing here, Trubisky. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And they take a 17-14 lead. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they have to feel like they missed on an opportunity for points last time when they couldn't connect on that short field goal drive.
And no doubt about it, because they were counting on those points. In today's NFL, let's face it, that's really a chip shot, right?
That's anything inside 40.
Yeah, they're counting on that going through the post. But we've seen it happen to teams before. Some of the best kickers in the world can miss kicks like that. Can they come back now and redeem themselves?
From the 35 on second down, Brissett flush to his right. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Now it appears we've got a Chief moving pretty gingerly down there. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Got her on first down, not going to get a whole lot. Maybe a couple. Second down coming up. It was Justin Houston who got him down. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. They stay on the ground. This time it's Hill. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
All day, dog. Alert 3, alert 3, alert 3.
Now carry number 20 here for Hill. And he is going to get the first down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. It's a gain of 8 there, and that should be enough to seal the victory.
1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
180. Come on, baby. Come on, let's go.
They'll go with Hill here on first down. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
180. We're going 37 to Mike. Mike 37. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Hill running right. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
180. I got you, punk. Man, up.
They'll try and run for it with Hill. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. They'll try to pound it in with Hill. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. On 2nd down, it's Hill. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage.
Tonight's final
So this one in the win column for Kansas City. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but second, third, and fourth quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you can win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you say baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the first quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.
So for the Chiefs, their strong September has carried over to October as they move to 5-0. To action in Week 7.